So, welcome to today's Safety Connections. Today, we are going to be talking about a roadmap to mental harm prevention. My name is Desiree D'Souza. I work with WSPS, and I've been working with WSPS now for close to 19 years. Yeah, it's been a long time, and I love working out here. For those who may have joined a little bit late, we had put up this MLITSD demographics survey. If you had the chance to complete it, thank you very much. If you have not had the chance to complete it, Jessica, my co-worker, has put the link again in the chat, so you can complete it later if you like. Just a few housekeeping tips. So before we get started with today's webinar, I'd like to review some of those housekeeping items. Firstly, we recommend that you use your computer audio with headphones, but telephone conference audio is also available. The phone conference audio details can be found in the access email that you would have received. Your camera and microphone, as you have probably already figured out, will remain off for the remainder of the session. Um, so while we really truly appreciate your participation throughout the webinar within this meeting, you have the option to use reactions. So at the top of your screen, you'll see the react button. If you find something of interest, if you find something that's funny, I try to be funny. I don't think this session is going to be that funny, but if you find something that is relevant and you think that, oh, good job, please feel free to use the thumbs up, the heart, the applause button, laughter button, whatever comes to mind. Please feel free to use that. The chat is available, so continue to use the chat, as some of you have already started by telling me that where you're from and letting me know that you've completed the survey. So truly appreciate it. There will be a couple of polls perhaps, and we will let you know when that comes up. What else? Accessibility. Yeah. So in case you're having a tough time, understanding or hearing, you have the option to enable live captions. So what do you have to do at the top of your screen? You see those three dots or the three buttons that under which it says more. Uh, Click on more, click on language and speech, and then turn on live captions to enable full screen or to enable live captions as well. If you have any technical difficulties throughout the webinar, you can send a message in the chat. My co-worker, Jessica, who's online, will help you out in whatever way possible. I will say though, because I've been doing this for a long time, if you do have a problem, one of the suggestions I would make is to leave the session and then try coming back. That, I know it sounds like a very cliche suggestion, but that is something that has worked time and again. So try to do that. So the Safety Connection program basically has four main goals. The first is to learn, share, and discover what is of value to our customers and to our community. So whatever we present at Safety Connections, we don't just come up and say, oh, let's do this. It's something that we want to make sure that our customers, our community learns from it, right? The second is to connect virtually with industry peers. So as much as you all are not able to chat or rather look at each other, speak to each other, you do have the chat option. And at some point, if you do need to find out something or ask a question, please feel free to put it in the chat. I may not address things immediately. Others might be able to answer certain questions, but it's available. To facilitate, the third one is to facilitate a best practice exchange, and then finally to provide an opportunity to attend the health and safety webinar from your own personal workspace. We used to do these safety connections or knowledge exchange in person as well, and we do continue to do knowledge exchange in person as well. But a lot of people are not necessarily able to travel, and so therefore this is a better option. Case in point are those people who have signed in today from Vancouver and Ottawa, right? So coming all the way to the GTA might not be such a good thing or easy thing for them. So before we start thinking about how can we start working on prevention, we need to understand what psychological safety actually is. So Amy Edmondson, who is from the Harvard Business School professor, she said that psychological safety is a belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, or mistakes. When we think about psychological safety, it's not just the absence of harm or the threat of harm to somebody's mental well-being that a worker might experience. Mental health is actually embedded in the way people interact with one another on a daily basis, and it is a part of the way we, the working conditions, management practices, the way decisions are made. So while there are many factors that are external to the workplace that can impact mental health, there are also many factors internal. Yes. So Jessica will put in my email. I think Jessica already put in my email address earlier. So just feel free to put it in again. Maybe she'll put it in at the end, Mohammed. That way, everybody will have access to it. For those who work with health and safety, who are working health and safety professionals, we always look at how to keep our workers safe, right? These 5 categories, hazard categories that you see on the screen right now, these were identified by the ministry. So in the past, when we referred to psychosocial hazards, what did we look at? We thought, oh, we should make sure there is no violence. We should make sure there is no harassment happening in the workplace. But now we realize that we should be thinking beyond just violence and harassment. Just like when we think of prevention for physical hazard, right? We need to start thinking about prevention in psychosocial hazards in the same way. So, what are some of the ways that we could think about? So, think about job design or work-life balance. What are the leadership expectations? So basically, what we are saying is we can start by focusing on the 13 plus workplace factors that the CSA Z1003 standard talks about. Okay, so let's talk about the national standard. How many of you are familiar with the national standard? You can raise your hand and just let me know if you want. Okay, so we have quite a few who are familiar. The thing though is the national standard, which was put together in 2013, was something that when people were reading it, it was a little bit more difficult to gauge, to understand. So even over 10 years later now, some organizations are still scrambling to understand how to get started on it, right? If you haven't done it yet, I would invite you to download this free standard on the screen out here. As you can see, you can just click on it and you can get access to the standard. This is the only CSA standard that is available for free, right? The standard has guidelines, tools, and resources to help organizations. And their main focus is to make every reasonable effort to protect the mental health and safety of all workers by preventing mental harm, to take every reasonable effort to promote the mental health of the workplace parties by making sure that there's no harm, and there's any harm that does take place, there's a resolution for it. Okay, so we have a wonderful standard put together. In this standard, there are some main points which help people understand some of the factors that can cause mental harm. So if you look at this, the standard says that there are 13 plus workplace factors. The reason why they say 13 plus is that initially they had identified 13 factors, and then they said, hey, no, there's more things. There are more things that can cause mental harm to workers. For example, vicarious trauma that you get because somebody else is relating things to you, or something like compassion fatigue, which is basically as much as you listen to others talk about their issues, now you're just tired of it. So, but we will basically focus on these 13 workplace factors. So some of the factors that are out here that you can see are things like organizational culture. What is your culture like? How do you all deal with psychological safety? Um, Things like psychological and social support. So psychological and social support can be something as simple as, I need to leave at 3 p.m. for the next week because I have to pick my kid up from school. And if your workplace is not giving you that leeway, you're not getting that psychological and social support. So each of these factors are things that can actually cause mental harm to workers. Now, some of you might already be on that platform where you already know what the 13 workplace factors are. You already know how what are some of the things that are missing in your workplace. Uh, so I'm going to put a poll up now. I'm going to ask you, and it's taking a while. So, how comfortable are you dealing with mental health challenges? I'm launching it. It's taking a little bit of time. I'm not sure why. Okay, there you go. So, how comfortable are you dealing with mental health challenges? Are you very comfortable, somewhat comfortable, or questionable? I really have no idea what I'm doing half the time. I'm just trying my best and trying to make sure that my workers are kept safe and sound. Okay, so I see some of you are saying very comfortable or somewhat comfortable. Sorry, my bad. And as much as we might think that something is somewhat comfortable, what else can we what we don't know? I always say what we don't know, we can't resolve. Um, so getting more knowledge, like coming here today, would be most helpful. So one of the things that we did, and I'm going to start talking about the roadmap that we have. What initially happened was, and thank you so much for everybody for giving me your response. Um, a while back, quite a while back, I think WSPS worked with Dr. Bill Howard. So we worked together in putting together a roadmap using what we called building blocks. These building blocks were meant to help organizations build an action plan on how to improve or at least get started on their psychological safety, the psychological safety portion of their workplace. So the map and its action planning is there so that you can measure what you have planned to do against what you have done. Uh, you know, so there are some of the these are some of the features of the roadmap, and you can read it up here on the screen, which is, there are webinars in there. There is an assessment. The assessment actually helps you figure out what are some of the gaps that you might have in your workplace. Then there are action planning templates, resources. Oh my goodness, there's so many resources out there. There's a dashboard for you to actually figure out where you are at this point in time, and as you progress through it, where you're going to get, where you are, 10 10 months from now, 10 days from now. It's up to you how you plan your action plan, and then strategies as well. So I'll go through each one of these as we go along, just so that you have a clearer idea of what exactly is there on that roadmap. So let's start with the eight building blocks. So there are a total of 8 building blocks. What they did was break this entire process of mental harm prevention into little blocks. These blocks are not necessarily linear, which means that you can start at any one of the blocks. You can say that I want to start at foundation, or you can say, you know what, we already done the foundation portion of things. I think we need to start at planning or support, or maybe I've already gotten started and I need to go into leadership as the leadership block. So if you look at the block, you see they've broken it up into 3 parts: getting started, gaining momentum, and raising the bar, right? So and we can see that each of those portions have different blocks in them. I am going to break these down a little bit more for you. So let's say you are at the getting started stage, right? So each block will help you create action plans. The first block is foundation. So some of the questions you can ask yourself is, are you just starting? What am I currently doing for my organization's psychological safety? How do you even get started? I don't know. Sometimes we don't know where to get started. Is my organization ready to start a mental health program? Most importantly, do your leaders have buy-in into the mental health program that you want to do? Because we know that if leaders are not committed to getting this off the ground, then you can be working as hard as you want, and it's at some point it's just going to fall flat. If they have a buy-in, do you have a budget, and who's going to lead this initiative? Basically, what we suggest out here in this block is, do you have a mental health champion who can take this and run with it? The next block is support. So if you decide to start work on the support block, then you should be asking yourself questions like, what kind of support am I going to give the employees? And also, what kind of support will I need to get this working? Do you all have resources? For example, do you all have EFAP? Do you all have a crisis management plan? Just like you would have a crisis management plan if you had a chemical spill or a fire in your workplace, right? Physical hazards. In this case, we can look at things from a psychological point of view. So, do you all have people within your workplace who have completed mental health first aid? Do you all have some kind of de-escalation techniques that you all have employed into your workplace? Is there a safe space that your workplace workers can go to? Are there quiet rooms that they can go to, de-stress? So things like support can also include, do we have trustworthy people? These are questions you will get to answer when you're doing your assessment, when you're starting your work, when you're thinking, okay, this is the block I want to get started with. Things like where support is concerned, right? Who are the trustworthy people in my workplace? Do you have a peer support program? And who has access to all of this wonderful stuff that you're putting together? Is it only full-time employees, or are they part-time contract employees as well? And sometimes we have all of this wonderful support in place, but we have to ask ourselves the question, do they even use it? Do our workers use it, or are they even aware of what we have? Maybe have resources for them. The third block is planning. I'm just going to take a second to clear my throat because I'm just recovering from a very bad flu. Just give me a sec. Sorry about that. So let's talk about planning. We know what gets measured gets done. So having a plan in place will help you focus on measuring your success. The questions that you could be asking is, what have we done to create a safe space for our people's mental health? Have you done some sort of survey? By the way, these are questions that you will find in the roadmap. This is not me just bringing up things and coming up with ideas. These are questions that you will find in the roadmap that will help you, that will help guide you to where you need to go. So think about, have you done some sort of survey to find out what your employees are feeling? Because when I think about it, sometimes we just jump into it with both feet, and then we're trying to figure out, is this working? Is that working? Let's get the employees involved as well. So that plan can include your workers as well. Do you have some kind of a mental health policy in place? And has it been signed by the top people because they are committing to this whole process? right? So think about this as your getting started portion of the roadmap. Now, you may already have gone through all of this stuff. Now you're thinking, I'm going to gain momentum. Your organization is thinking, uh, I need to progress now. So you may not know how to continue with your plan because at one point, you're so gung ho and we did all of this, but now we need to do more. So, from a leadership point of view, when we talk about leadership, the leadership block, we are talking about anyone who is managing people. Whether they have the title of a leader or not is not important. It is that they are managing people. So it is necessary to provide mental health support to not only your workers, but also your leaders. You need to train your leaders to recognize mental health of the framework. So they are I hold your question, Mohammed. We have KPBs, which we call key behaviors, and I will share that with you as well. So I will let you know about that in a bit. Okay. So do you think you as a leader could have psychological distress at work from time to time? Are you even allowed to be distressed? After all, you are the one making all the big bucks and you have all this wonderful perks. Isn't that what people think? That you are a manager, you are a leader, and therefore you have to know everything. And that's not necessarily true. What do you do in your organization for your leaders? It's not just about worker well-being. It's about people well-being. Your workers include everyone. So when is it my time to get some support as a leader? Not just the managers or the supervisors, but the senior leaders as well. CEOs, VPs, CFOs. Have you trained them on what it means to be a psychologically safe leader? It doesn't mean that you have to be nice to everyone all the time, right? You do have to be kind, and you may need to say no sometimes. But the point is that you need to be able to figure out that mental health can affect you too. We have to remember that everything will not collapse if leaders say, hey, you know what? I need a mental health day today. So, what exactly is culture then? Let's talk about culture now. Culture is that shared attitude, belief, values, and even behavior of everyone in the organization. So, as an organization, you need to see how and what is being done to build the culture of your organization with that psychological health and safety mindset. Think about what have you done to shape your workplace's culture. Have you clarified to everyone what is allowed, what is tolerated? What happens when someone is disrespectful or uncivil to their coworkers? What happens in your workplace? Think about that. And what are you doing to build trust? Do your people feel that they have a good environment? Is mental health promoted? Is it embraced? Did you know that according to a Willis Towers Watson survey, they did a survey a while back, and they found that while 82% of executives said that they thought the organization did an excellent job with their workers' mental health, only 30% of the workers agreed. See the disparity because the culture was very different. When we look at our overall culture, we're not only looking at it from a leadership point of view. So where leadership and culture can actually work hand in hand as well. We're looking at it from an overall point of view. Does everyone feel that my organizational culture is one where I have a similar attitude, a similar belief, similar values, and behavior as everyone else? I know what is expected of me. The sixth block is connections. And connections are when we talk about connections, we're talking about meaningful connections, the connections that we create in our workplace. It's it's someone that we can confide in at a workplace. It could be those people that we eat lunch with, or those people we talk to. It's that group that we complain to about, our spouses and say, oh, today my husband, he spilled all the coffee and I had to clean up and things like that. People that we can talk to without being afraid, without being afraid, and without getting scared that, oh my goodness, whatever I say to them is going to go now to management or go somewhere where I could get into trouble. Do you have people like that at your workplace? I'll give you a second. Think of one or two people in your workplace right now to whom your workers can go to chat with, and discuss their challenges without hesitation. I'm going to give you a second and think, are you that person? You might be that person. Research has proven that if people have even one trustworthy connection at work, they will think twice before changing jobs. In your organization, do you all have an open door policy? Are your doors even open? You know how difficult or how much easier it is to just enter a room where the door is open than it is to build up the courage to knock on the door, wait for an answer, and say, "Oh no, it's okay. I didn't I didn't have anything to ask." How are you helping your workers build connections with each other? Are you having things like barbecues, Christmas parties? This is that social health that we always talk about when we talk about overall health. Encourage networking. Now, with so many people working virtually or hybrid, that social connection has been very, very severely impacted. So, what is your organization doing to develop that connection? Maybe consider having things like online coffee chats. Did you know that, and I was surprised to read some of this information, is that loneliness is something we don't always consider. Do you have older workers in your organizations? Do you have young workers in your organizations? Do they feel disconnected or cut off from the others? Did you know that in the United Kingdom there is a ministry at the government level, right, for preventing loneliness? That's actually the name of the ministry, preventing loneliness, Ministry of Preventing Loneliness. They have found that the cost of loneliness can mean that, you are no longer eating well, you're no longer taking your meds, you're no longer sleeping well. Uh, and studies have shown that people who reported being the loneliest had a 40% greater risk of dementia. The seventh block is prevention. So prevention, and we while prevention may sound easy because we're doing it on a day-to-day basis, right? We're doing it for our physical injuries. We want to prevent slip, trips, and falls. We want to prevent ladder safety. We want not prevent. We want to ensure ladder safety. We want to make sure people are working safely on machines, motor vehicle incidents, all of that. We are always trying to prevent injuries and illnesses, but we don't think about illnesses as a psychosocial hazard as well. So now let's start thinking about what are you doing to prevent things like bullying, harassment. Well, hang on, those are already mandated by law. But what are we doing to prevent mental harm? What are you doing to prevent mental harm by rewarding and recognizing workers? Is there work-life balance taking place? Do people feel like they can grow and be involved in the work that they're doing? Are you doing anything to prevent a toxic environment? And are people in the organization, whether they're leaders or whether they are workers, acting in a reckless and negligent manner with no concern for people's mental health? Yes, and suicide ideation, Mohammed, is one of the things that we have found has grown through the years. Because we think about, are you helping to prevent mental harm? Do you have a substance use program to help employees? Have you all spoken to workers on topics like suicide, like mental health? How do you prevent harassment? How do you prevent violence and disrespect? When we talk about this, it's all there in legislation, but what are you doing to prevent it? We've explained to our workers what violence is, we've explained to our workers what harassment is, but what are you doing to prevent it? And the last block is raising the bar, which means you may have already done all of those things, and now you may have achieved all the previous blocks, but it does not mean that you've achieved perfection. In fact, you are now continuing to build your organization's psychological health and safety. So we don't want you to stop there. You must have heard of the Plan, Do, Check, Act process for that the CSA has standardized all across. So this is how we're looking at it. If you want to raise the bar now, let's start about by thinking about things like maybe we could do a gap analysis to find out what else may be missing. Think about what areas you need to refocus on. Maybe you need to remove some silos that are causing mental harm to people. So in other words, you're in that plan to check, you're in the check portion and then the act portion of things. Because what you're doing is continuous improvement. It should now be embedded in your organization. Embedded, not just, something nice to have where we can show people, oh, we are a psychologically safe organization. Now we're doing things beyond, above and beyond. So for example, if you're purchasing a new machine or new equipment, we now not only think how will this machine physically harm my employees. Do we need to have guards on this machine? Uh, um, can people go around under through over it without hurting themselves? Now you're putting that psychological lens in there. You're thinking, I need to think about people's mental health while they're working on this machine as well. Will this new equipment create stress because they're used to the older machine? How can I make sure we have looked closely at managing change so that not only does the organization benefit from using this new equipment, but also the workers see the benefit of this machine? So some of the things that we can ease them into using it without any mental distress is by giving them updates, right? Machine is coming in, new machine is coming in, and before it comes in, we give them some information about it, maybe send them for training, allow them some time to practice on it, if that is possible, of course, because now it has become second nature to plan things with a psychological safety viewpoint. Now we're looking at our buildings, where we are changing our suppliers, we are changing customers even, not just from a physical, but also from a psychologically safe place. This is basically the main topic about what the 8 building blocks talks about. So now let's get started on the mental harm prevention roadmap. And I put the QR code as well as the link on the presentation right now. So we can get started. You might think that when you are starting on your mental harm prevention, you're thinking, where do I start? How do I start? This is a beautiful standard, but what do I do about it? So if you look at this graphic that we've put up here, it's almost like a roundabout. We have lots of roundabouts now in Ontario, and what they're trying to say is each of these roundabouts can go in or out to whichever block you want. That's why I said earlier, it's not linear. You can start wherever you want. You can start at this point at connections, or that might be where you think you need to focus on the most, or you can start on foundation. What I did was I put the presentation, the way I put it together, I said, let's start with foundation. So once you click on that, once you click on this link, and we will send all of this to you, by the way. Jessica, just correct me if I'm wrong. This is being recorded, and then therefore it will be posted. but all those who have attended will also get this information. So yeah, she says yes. Thank you. So once you click on that link, this is where you will come, where you have to register, right? Uh, if you are new to WSPS, you will need to register. This portion of it, fill in your name, email address, etc. If you have registered for any of our past events, like you wanted to attend a training and you did it online, so you just need to log in, right? Um, with the WSPS password. Once you log in, when you would have to do an assessment. Remember, whatever you log into it, as soon as you log into it, no one else will have access to your information, not even us, not even WSPS. This is managed by a, a site in the Simon Fraser University, college or university, and it's only accessed there by their own group of people. So we don't have any access to your information. The roadmap, the vision of it is once it's tested, and we wanted to make it an interactive place. So what you do is you register, you conduct an assessment for each of the building blocks or for any one of the building blocks. It's totally up to you. And then you progress through using webinars, action plan, and then you have a bunch of resources, which includes that action planning template, resource toolkits, dashboard for progress, and strategies. Now, don't think I'm just going to tell you that and then that's all I'm going to be telling you. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is where, and I'm going to talk about first conducting assessments, right? So this is once you've logged in, this is the sheet that you will get. And the sheet basically will show you where begin here. Begin here is what we saw initially, right? Not this page. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, basically this page, begin here, or the assessment. So you can click on the assessment and complete the assessment. And then it goes through the dashboard and 13 workplace factors toolkit. I'll go through each one slowly by one. So I had completed the assessment on my own. So it depending on the number of questions, you get scored accordingly. The highest score can be 28 or 24. The higher your score, it means the less work you need to do, right? So this was the first three, which was the foundation, support, and planning. I just took foundation so that y'all could see the progress of foundation if I decided to use the foundation block. So once I completed the assessment, and this is the kind of questions that you would get for the assessment. Now you see it's 24 out of 28. Earlier it was 7 out of 28, which means is that I had the option to redo the assessment, right? I had done it earlier and I had very few, twos, very few fours, a couple of twos and ones. So that's why my foundation results were just 7 out of 28. Then I got a couple of things completed, and now I could change that assessment for myself. Okay, so these are the kind of questions, and I'm not sure if you can see the questions, but some of the questions that are there is our senior leaders are engaged, committed to supporting psychological health and safety in our workplace. And some organizations would say, no, we don't have that. So maybe that's where you have to work on. So there are a number of questions. I think in this case, there were 5 questions. I can't remember very clearly, but they are questions that you answer, and then you have a better idea of, hey, what do I need to do now? And then you have your action plan suggestions for that foundation block, because you can actually access it and find out what do I need to do. So there will be a portion out there where it says edit your action plan. When you click on edit your action plan, you will find that there will be options for downloading worksheets, tips from WSPS consultants who had worked on this with Dr. Bill Howard, right? So what tips can we give you? Action items, creating your action plan yourself because you know what you need to do to improve your psychological health and safety in your workplace. And there are additional resources and tools as well as options to speak with mental health consultants like myself. So when creating your action plan, there's other things in there. So you can use these two interactive tools. First is to define your goals and objectives, and then there are questions in there that will help guide you as to where you can get started. So if you can, I don't know if you can see this very clearly. So it asks, what will you do to achieve the goal? What goal do you want to achieve? And what will you do to achieve the goal? What are the resources you need to have? And in order to achieve the goal, there is that portion about creating activities. So, how can you create activities? You identify specific activities, you list the resources that you have. It can be human resources, or it can be just mental health resources that you might be able to get a hold of. Also, who's going to be accountable? Very often we have all these beautiful, I mean, I've seen this so often, not just for psychosocial hazards, but for physical hazards. We have beautiful health and safety plans in place, and nobody knows about it. It's just there in a little bit in a fat binder, kept on the shelf somewhere, and oh, we need it, we'll take it. That's not the way we want to be working, right? So these tools have questions that will help guide you as to where you can get started, what activities you think you can start with to actually get there. Next, you have your dashboard. This dashboard is your dashboard, right? It's yours. We don't have, as I said, we don't have access to it. Your dashboard will help keep you on track. You can update it as you go. You can and remember, this document can be viewed only by you or anybody who has the login details through WSPS. But let's say you say, every time getting logging in and logging out is such a hassle. What I can do is I can print this document, or I can create my own dashboard to keep me on track using this as a template. This was just a snapshot of how one block foundation, this is the one that I chose to work with, would work for you. There is no rule that says you only have to work on one block at a time. You can use all three of the getting started blocks if you have the manpower, if you have the champion to do the work, somebody who's able to take this on. So this was the portion about how our mental harm prevention roadmap would work for you. It's really simple. It sounds like a lot when I'm talking about it. We are here to guide you. If you feel that, oh my goodness, what I don't know what Didi was talking about something, and now she's this is sounds a little bit more difficult than I anticipated. We have some resources, some excellent resources that come with this mental harm prevention roadmap. Let me share them with you. So first of all, we have the roadmap jump start guide. This Jumpstart guide was created to be a user-friendly interface with the CSA Z1000 standard. What they did was they aligned it with the three principles of the standard, which, as I mentioned earlier, is to prevent mental harm, promote mental health, and to resolve incidents of conflicts. This is the one. And so, Mohammed, you asked the question earlier. This includes key performance behaviors for each blocks, along with suggestions on where to start and when some action steps need to be considered. The flip book, so this is a different thing. The flip book follows that plan, do, check, act process, right? So when we talk about the flip book, each of these flip books, sorry, each of the blocks have a separate flip book. So if you see out here the link that I've pasted on the presentation, this is for foundation. We're still talking about foundation at this point in time. So when you're thinking about plan, do, check, act, we always start with plan, right? So while the Jumpstart Guide gives you the basics, the Jumpstart Guide, which I was talking about here, right? This gives you the basics. The flip book, right, takes you even deeper into what you may need to do. Each block, as I said, has a separate flip book. So if we took a closer look at the flip book, you will find that it asks a bunch of questions, which will help you figure out what you need to do, help you set goals, implement them, and then monitor and rectify anything that is missing or lacking. That's that plan, do, check, act. So it'll ask question like, what are you ready to commit to? And maybe you might say, I'm not ready right now, or I do already have a mental health strategy, or I want to get to the point of the CSA standard, right? I'm very ambitious and I want to get right up to the CSA standard level. It'll ask you things like, have you already started? And you might have answers like, oh, I have limited programs for prevention, or I have a plan, or I've actually begun implementing the national standard. Other things that are included in the flip book: who needs to be involved? Um, we need to figure out, you need to figure out the level of buy-in that you want to get in. How are you going to get them? How are you going to get buy-in? And who's going to be your champion? Who's going to be running with this? Do you have one person, depending on the size of your organization, or you know what? Let's put together a committee. And then also questions of financial resources. What's my budget? Do I have a budget? Should I be starting to ask for a budget to do this? So the implementation, the monitoring, the correction and improvements is that plan, do, check, act that we are talking about. We talked about the 13 workplace factors. There is actually a toolkit as well. So you may also want to look at which of these 13 workplace factors your organization may be struggling with. There are resources out here that will help you explore the different factors, and there are suggestions and recommendations which you can use to help improve any one of those factors that you feel that you're struggling with. Another resource, this was a article, a paper written in 2022 by Harvard Business. They had written a paper on employee retention that I think may still be very relevant, especially these days when the job market is very limited and you find that managers have to figure out how to manage and retain their workforce, right? So they talk about strategies for managing that understaffed team. Uh, Another resource that I wanted to share with you is the psychological safety in workplace in practice. This is a guidebook for managers. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is a real, and I would recommend, if nothing else, when you're starting on this roadmap journey, definitely read through this document, this book. It's not even a document. It's got a couple of pages. It's got some questions that you can answer and figure out. Hey, is this something that I can do? What and how do I do it? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have put together a guide to help your management team. If you do decide to use it, please do let us know if this worked for you. We would love to hear your feedback. So I do want to let you all know this, that when we talk about resources, right? If your business, if you're a manufacturing organization, if you're a service organization, or if you are in the agriculture sector, if you pay WSIB premiums, you are a WSPS member. As a WSPS member, there are a number of complementary benefits that you get. So Health and safety assessments. One of our safety experts will actually come visit your location, help you identify your hazards, your programs, look at your gaps to get your business in legislative compliance, right? We will help you go through the WSIB safety check. Again, one of our safety experts can assist you to get an insight on what is happening, what are your claims, what are your WSIB claims, to figure out where you are struggling in your organization. We also have a small business advisory service. Our experts will actually provide personalized support to small business owners. And I think we consider small businesses, anybody, any organization that has 50 or less. It could be 100, I'm not sure, but it depends. I know that when I've worked with organizations that needed help with mental health help, it was up to 50. We also offer a 1 day of consulting, free consulting, if you have received a ministry order. So you could actually be eligible for a 1 day on-site consulting to help your business. Next week, I'm actually going into a workplace to because they got a ministry order for respiratory protection. So we'll be doing some training out there. I'll be doing some fit testing for respirators as well. So that, by the way, is covered and it's for free if you need it. I'm going to launch another poll. I just want to find out that after listening to me talk for over an hour, close to an hour, tell me what is something different that you would do after today. When you leave, what is one thing you will do to promote your mental health? We're not asking you, this is not about your family, your partner, your kids. What would you do for yourself to promote your mental health? Just a couple of minutes for you to answer that question. I'll give you some time. The word cloud, so just type in. Okay, I like that. Reduce expectations. I'm interested to think about reducing expectations. Jim. And I always tell people this. And so when I introduced myself, I told you how long I've been working here. Actually a workplace mental health consultant at WSPS. And I do a lot of mental health trainings, awareness trainings, leadership trainings, how managers should respond, all those kinds of things. But I want to say this, sometimes we think that I'm going to work out more. I'm going to read. I'm going to, um, you know, participate in yoga and stuff like that. I always think about what would you do at work. So I see some people have said boundaries, think more positively. I love the fact that you're thinking, what can I do right now? Right now. So at work, what are some of the things that you can do to help your mental health? You might be feeling overwhelmed, and people do that all the time, is that I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm leadership, I need to be making sure that I do all the right things. My question to you is, what are you going to do right now? Turn off your phone, put up a sign on your door and say, do not disturb, just so that you can get those 5, 10, 15 minutes of quiet time where you can reassess how you're feeling and calm yourself down, or get into a place where you're feeling a lot more relaxed. Uh, Before we leave, I just want to do one thing for you. If you are going through some kind of a stress, let's try this. Let's try this. Okay. So I would like everyone to just sit quietly. Plant both your feet firmly on the ground. Place your hands on your legs with your palms up. If you are comfortable to do so, gently close your eyes. Now just relax and breathe. Breathe normally. Relax all of the muscles in your face. Now focus your attention on the back of your eyelids. Relax the back of your head. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Relax your arms. Now focus on the feeling of your hands on your lap. Relax your chest. Relax your back. Relax your hips and your belly. Relax your thighs, your calves, and your feet. Focus on the feelings and sensations at the bottom of your feet. Now, I'd like you to switch your focus to the most obvious sound in the room. And I'd like you to release your focus completely. Gently open your eyes. And now tell me, how are you feeling now compared to how you were feeling when we started this session this morning? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat and tell me how are you feeling when you started and now. I'm waiting for people to type in. This whole process took less than a minute. Less than a minute. So think about your own mental health and give yourself that 1 minute every day, once a week, once every 2 days. Give yourself that 1 minute to relax, to feel calmer, to not get overwhelmed. Give this to your coworkers. Let them use it as well, because we have a lot of things in our brain at all times. And we have to learn to teach ourselves how to relax. We don't always do that, right? Okay, so that's all I have for now. And I know I've finished way earlier because we always give some time for questions. So if anybody has any questions, before you do have any questions, let me just say that if you all do need any help of any kind of trainings or any kind of help with the roadmap, if you're planning to get started, we'd be more than happy to help. Some of the things that we offer are completely free, right? Some of the things we offer may not be that free. I think a little help for the roadmap could be something that we could offer. I am extremely, extremely busy. So if you do need me, reach out to me. I think Jessica is going to put my email address again in the chat in case you missed it when you first came in. And we'll talk again if you do not have any questions. I'm still here for a bit. Jessica, are there any questions that we didn't answer? Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Mohammed. It is, I wouldn't call it a rabbit hole as such, because again, we cannot teach people to be empathetic. You're absolutely correct, right? And you do need to have some level of emotional intelligence. But I always say to people, just like we didn't know that a hot stove could burn us until somebody actually taught us or told us about it, or if we touched it and we got burned ourselves. So in the same way, when we talk about mental health or psychological safety, health and safety as well, it is not something that you wake up one day and say, "Oh, I know what to do," right? We need to start learning about it a little bit more. We need to start focusing on what we do know, and some of those questions that I mentioned, some of those questions actually can help guide us to at least get to that level. So the question is that health and safety policies are already mandatory. We had anticipated 10 years ago that psychological health and safety policies would become mandatory as well. We are seeing that the ministry is focusing a lot more on mental health than it did before. In the last 2 years, some of our initiatives at WSPS has been mental health. So we as a health and safety association are focusing a lot more on mental health as opposed to only physical health like we did in the past. If that is going to change where it becomes mandatory, I cannot tell you if it's going to happen tomorrow, day after, or after a year. But I know that I have seen a shift in the last couple of years for sure. Get information about free resources if your company is not part of the WSIB. So I don't know if you all know how the health and safety system works. The way the health and safety system works is, you have the ministry, and then you have the prevention CPO office, which is part of the ministry. You have the WSIB, and then you have I shouldn't say this. I should say this, and then you have the health and safety associations. So a very easy way that I explain the whole network is that when you are I make a correlation with the car, with a vehicle. When you start driving a car, somebody has to teach you how to drive, right? You don't just go into a car and know what to do. So we are like that. We are your teachers. We are your instructors. We help you figure out we are your instructors, but we're also your mechanics, basically, to find out what's wrong with your car before you actually purchase the car. Once you buy the car, before you take it off on the road, um, in an organization, as soon as you have more than one worker, you have to get insurance. If you have a car, as soon as you buy the car, you cannot take it on the road without insurance. In an organization, you hire one person, you have to get WSIB insurance. So what that insurance money does is that insurance money is given to different organizations. WSPS is one of those organizations. With that money, so because we are a not for profit, with that money, we are able to offer a number of free resources and free stuff. Having said that, just because you are a not from our location or not part of WSIB does not mean we will not help you. We will still help you. It's just that there's some things that we can give you for free. Like, for example, I mentioned the safety check that the WSIB has. We can sit down with you and explain to you how that safety check in what you are facing in your organization by looking at the safety check. Maybe you have more MSD concerns. Maybe you have more MVI concerns. So we look at the whole story of the safety check and try to work with you to get to at least compliance, if not above and beyond that. Also, the ministry has recently started this thing that if you get a ministry order in Ontario, we are allowed, depending on the order, of course, we are allowed to give you a 1-day site consulting. And so a 1 day means basically 8 hours. So we can come in, do 2 hours of 1 hour of training, 1 hour of the respiratory fit testing, and then come back. If you need some kind of help, we help you with some building blocks that will help you get into being more compliant. I hope that kind of answers your question. And free resources are available on our WSPS website at all times anyway. And I think this is where you can access it. So WSPS.ca has a bunch of stuff, like literally a bunch of stuff. We have a search bar. That's probably how you found out about the safety connections as well. And again, if everything worse comes to worse, call us. Call us, we will get back to you. We have 24 employees and we are not WSA. You'd ask many times why. It has to do with being ministry funding and being a not-for-profit. Okay. For healthcare, we are more concerned about healthcare burnout and starting a PHS team. So it doesn't matter. I don't see the name Carrie. It doesn't matter if you are not a WSIB member. You can still have us. You can still call us. We can still talk to you. We can still, chat with you. By the way, even people who are signed in with the WSIB, if we go in to do any kind of training, they have to pay. It's not for free. So some things are for free, some things are not. If you were to call us and say, hey, or you send an email and say, I need some information on A, B, or C, we have a duty consultant that would be able to respond back to you in a very short time about what you can do. Okay, I hope that helps. Any other questions? I'm here till 12, so if anybody has any questions, please feel free. If it is quickly possible to comment on 3 workers I know, immigrant working at lower level than his potential, midlife job loss and not getting a better one, and midlife divorce. That's an interesting one. So let me first preface this by saying that I am not a psychologist. I have a BA in psychology and education, and I have an MBA. However, I'm not a psychologist. So a lot of things that when we give you any kind of training, we always preface it by, this is information. When you are dealing with people who are struggling, and it doesn't matter what the topic is, midlife, job loss, not getting better one, everybody's struggling right now. The idea is always to sit with them and talk to them instead of telling them what to do. I'm one of those people. I have a adult in my home right now, doesn't have a job, and my thing is, you should do this and you should do that, and I realize that it causes more stress when I am telling that person what to do. So having a conversation, and we do have a training called How Managers Should Respond, where we talk about, listening, and making suggestions. There is something that we call OFNR. So observations. O is observation, F is feeling, N is need, and R is request. So if you are having a conversation with somebody who's working in your workplace, and you want to tell them that, hey, what's happening, what you're doing right now is not what the organization needs. You talk about what you have observed. You talk about how you feel and how you think they feel as well. I'll give you an example. So somebody's not completing their work or not coming to work on time, right? So if I was using OFNR, I would say, I have noticed that you have not been coming to work on time, and I feel this is not like you. You are always very, very, you were always coming back, coming to work on time. I can't get the word right now in my head. And then, but you know that we need to get work done and completed on time. We have project goals that we need to complete. So my request to you, R, is that let us know what can we do, what's happening in your work, in your life, that we can make sure that you either come on time or you work a little later so that we are not behind on anything. OFNR is some of the things, the process that we recommend. So those are some of the conversations methods that we would talk to you about. how managers should respond is actually a training that we offer. Any other questions? Actually, Jessica, do you want me to put my email address and down again? Or will you be doing that?
I will do that, Desi.
Thank you so much. Jessica calls me Desi. My name is actually Desiree, but she loves calling me Desi. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. And then again, if you'd like to stay on, I'm here till 12. Otherwise, have a good rest of the day.